We don't do any maintenance or anything like that
No,
on that.
that's
Yeah.
the whole thing. He's deeded it right away from the town.
Which we can't find that. It looks like it's
one
just.
of the book and pages on the side that I had. I found it years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
when I went and talked, I asked him last year about the opening that up. What I got was that the opening of my rock wall
Yeah.
was a 30-foot wall stood up. At the end of the rock wall. You decided to block my entrance out the back of the rock wall.
Okay.
You know? You can see there, it's just different angles, they're all the same picture. And you can see where the town has a sign that says not a throughway right on that tree.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a town sign.
That's
How long has Peter been with us?
he's been
15.
around.
15 years. So in 15 years, he didn't put that sign there.
Now, the electric company came out to do an electric survey,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they don't need any, they already have an easement to go down there because they maintain all those telephone poles to that sign.
Yeah.
Meaning it's a town property, because they wouldn't maintain his electric service. They would stop down at that little bus stop.
No,
Yeah. Well.
That's what I'm
they
saying. is
maintain all their.
The electric company is telling me that they already have that part done, they just need this part done. So they can get all the way down to there, no problem, to maintain those lines. They just need to go down that road.
Well, like that pole that you're speaking of, why can't they then just go off that pole over? Because that's roughly where you're looking to put that
No,
structure, isn't it? Or,
200 feet down.
oh, it's further down.
I need one telephone pole. Well, they're gonna make me put two. Because
On your property though, right?
No, it would be on that road.
Yeah.
So that they could come down, they can turn into the road, maintain the power line, and then they can stretch to the building.
Yeah. So what,
Then
we
they
can't
just
find
go-
anything that grants us access or rights to even be on that road.
It's
Right,
no
that's-
longer a road, according to the tax map, it says discontinued.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even a class 6.
Which means
So-
that he owns it, like that's his driveway.
Why would, so then who owns the road in between us?
And I guess in theory, when it was discontinued, don't both abutting properties own halfway
To the middle.
to the middle?
To the middle,
So
I
then I
asked,
can just
Yeah.
go through the opening at this end and drive straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, cause you do have a opening in that rock wall,
Yeah.
like on your property.
So can I dig down that berm? That's state property. That's town property, cause that little island, I don't know who owns the island, that
Yeah,
used
and that
to be
must have been when they,
124.
yeah, that when they reconfigured the road, it
Right.
is an odd little
Right,
nothing spot.
so then
I
I
guess
can
you
cut-
could probably ask, I don't know if this is right or not, I could be speaking out of turn, but usually anything that has to do with granting access to a property would be, Peter, cause he's our road agent. So I don't know, like if there'd be like a temporary access granted or.
Now, if I come up with the deed, which I can go down to Nashville and get it, that's easy enough, 'cause I got the
So
fucking paper.
which one is it? There's a bunch of different things in the
Well,
column.
that's- you
Which
have to
one
ask
is
them for
it
it.
an easement from the
I'm just a worker
town?
bee here, alright? The queen
Well, you
bee's
said
at
it was,
home.
alright,
I'm not gonna be poking that high.
alright. Well, you said it was in the column, so there's
It's
about
gonna
8
be-
different books and pages over
It's
there.
underneath the old owner, I wanna say that was the old owner, so it would be on this side here,
So,
because,
is it from the town granting an easement to them to use the driveway?
Yeah,
Or
because
is it,
the road takes a right at that old dirt road on the back, the old class 6 or whatever it was,
Yeah,
that goes down, that was that road.
yeah,
So in between these rock walls, it hit here, it turned down.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
it's a,
that was the old Main Street. The old country road is what they call it on the deed.
yes, and we also found some cards, from Mr. Preston had made and did like drawing.
hand
and
drawings?
drawings, and it showed this exact turn
Right.
in it,
Yeah.
which led us on paper yesterday when we were looking at it. It seemed like that old road was on your property essentially, but then all I saw evidence of that was just was it maybe an 8-foot break in the stone wall
Yeah.
that's
right.
on your, yeah, so it's not quite wide enough, but I wonder if that was a part
No, see, this
of
is my property line right here.
to run along that.
This is my property line. There's an extension here now. If you see it in the picture, you can tell he built it
Yeah,
because when he moved because he's got the building right there.
Who's he?
When he moved all these rocks, he just
This
built this wall down,
Okay.
right?
yeah,
Because you can tell by the new stacking. Nobody back in the day would stack a boulder that size, that
Yeah.
high,
yeah,
and his front end loader can.
yeah,
So the road used to go straight down here. That's why he put that there,
yeah,
just so that I couldn't say no. You know, he knows. He's in construction as well as I am. He knows that I know what's going on.
yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, I'm not trying to cause
one of the
problems.
easiest, since that's not an option to go down his driveway essentially,
But it's
you do
not,
have-
there's a deed to the town. I'll find the
Yeah.
deed. That's not a problem.
okay,
The problem is once I find that deed, that means I can go down there. That's
Well,
not the problem. I can go down there anytime I want. I mean, that's just
well, that's what we need the paper,
right.
yeah.
But my question is, can I cut all the trees down here?
On your property,
It's
can
on
cut
not
trees.
my property. It's in between the road.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I'll show you.
that's gonna depend where that law comes in. Do discontinued roads go to the center of the road
So
is
when
it,
you-
sometimes, or is it just, depends what the surveyor said? I was under the impression any discontinued road, property lines,
I mean, I have a
Right.
discontinued road up north, unless if it's a town law, which you guys should know the town laws.
but we
This-
don't,
I
we
mean,
don't know them all.
It's a
right, I
state.
know, but I mean, it should have been found out by now. But up in Gilson where I have property, I built a 1.5 mile long road to get to my property, down an old abandoned road.
okay.
Now the town says I can build and fix and maintain it, but guess what? Anybody can use that road. Because that's the town road still. They don't disappear.
Well, that's class 6. We had people come to us and ask if they can utilize a portion of class 6, and we had to tell them, yes, you can utilize a portion, but we could tell them no. But we said, yes, you can, but you need to understand that
Right.
people have right to go
Right, so
down
now
that
when it
road.
gets discontinued,
That
I
might
mean,
be a different story, yeah.
who owns it?
Well, Old Peterborough Road is discontinued
And where do the property lines go there?
to the middle,
Yeah, to the center.
to the center line. So the people on the left own the left side of the center line, the people on the right own up to the right side of the center
Mhm.
line.
So then I wouldn't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about getting the easement from the town saying that he could use that because you guys still own it. So then I can just clear those trees back out
No,
again.
we don't, oh, yeah, if we see
It's on a
something,
deed.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a deeded easement that the town gave him. And I found on one of those. I'll figure that one out.
Okay,
That's my job. I understand that. But that means so I can cut all those trees down.
If it's
That
on
means
your
he has this
property.
wall on my property. That means he has a whole
I
bunch of
don't,
others.
I'm not gonna make that determination, like, from this seat here, cause I don't know what the actual surveys are,
Well, this is what I'm trying to find
Yeah.
out because I can't even apply for a
Well-
building permit if you guys don't tell me what's going on.
The
with the road.
town doesn't do surveys. You would have to have your land surveyed, or they would have to
You
have
have my
their.
survey right there. It's on my deed.
That's not a survey, that's not on the I mean, it tells you where it is, but if you have an official engineer do a survey and put the flags on the ground, then you can tell exactly where your property is.
Pretty simple.
We
Follow
don't
the
know.
rock wall. This is what I'm saying. It's a rock wall all the way down where I'm talking about.
Right.
Which rock wall are we talking about, this partial one here or the one that's in the yellow highlight?
I got a picture
the
right
one
here.
that's not highlighted,
The one that's not highlighted?
yeah.
Right.
So you just want to cut trees down up to that stone wall?
No, it's this one here, down here. I already own all this.
Okay,
See, so it's just these
So-
trees here,
okay,
so I can get power lines down. Cause I wanna put a building roughly around here.
gotcha.
It's about 200.
So
Okay,
It-
so
but it comes-
this part here is the easement then, right?
Right,
Between
that's
these
the
two stone
easement.
walls?
Right.
Okay,
Maybe,
Maybe.
yeah,
Oh, I know it's an easement.
Yeah.
Trust me, I read it,
So what it
I
comes
figured
down
this
to,
out before I bought the property 17 years ago, because I built it, I wanted to develop it as a housing development. So you dot your i's, you cross your t's, and you make sure you find out all your property lines before you buy a piece of junk property.
Mhm.
That's why I had all this information already on hand. Now my son's out of school, I'm looking to get out of here in probably 5-10 years. So,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
I might as well dump the money now. This is all out of pocket. That's why it's more, you know, if she wants me to go get an engineered plan, that's only gonna cost
I'm not
five.
saying you have to, I'm just saying if
No,
you,
for a
if,
survey, that's,
Right.
that's like $5,000
I'm not saying you have to do that,
to do that.
but if you
Well-
wanna know exactly where your property
Well, I know
line
where the
is.
property line is. I mean, there's a rock wall. You can see it right here in this picture. See
Yeah.
this rock wall here? That rock? See that building over there?
He wants to
That
cut
rock
down
wall
trees.
there, it's 35 feet.
So you're,
See the rock right there? That's the top.
no, I can understand it, like, I
This-
understand like what you're
this is what I'm saying, and
but
that
what
whole
I'm saying
rock
is
wall
that we
goes back
can't
to
say,
the-
yeah, go ahead and cut the trees, cause I don't know where your property
So-
line is, you're saying you do know, so why are you asking us, I guess
Where
is
would
what
the-
I'm asking.
Well, the thing is how would it come down? Why doesn't it show up on his survey? If she's saying that it should come up on a handwritten survey, that means this line should be right there, in the middle. It's not. So I'm gonna spend $5,000 to find out that that doesn't exist? And then, see what I'm saying? They're gonna say it goes by the deed, cause that's what the state
Right.
recognizes.
Yeah,
Well, the deed doesn't, you can't just go adding 15 feet of a road to a deed.
or it should have been when that was discontinued and all of that took place.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
this wasn't discontinued, it's just no record of it. It's not like,
There's no
There's
record
always-
of it even being there, never mind being discontinued? Is that what you're saying?
all I have is a record saying that the town gave him a deeded easement to get to that property, but they will not maintain it.
So, when we looked at it yesterday, it looked like that was, when that subdivision was done, that this is a back lot and he has 50 feet of frontage on Davis Village Road, and that would be his driveway anyway. And that would be his access to the back lot. Cause we
When-
couldn't find anything
When did he do
saying
the subdivision?
1988.
But he owns he owns this parcel here too.
I don't know. I'm not saying he did the subdivision. I don't know who did the subdivision. But the only way you can get 50 feet of frontage on a road is to have a back lot. So that's why we were questioning, because we couldn't find anything that said the town gives him the right to use that as a driveway. So when this was subdivided, because you see how all these are -10, -11, -12,
Yeah.
like those are all, that's what they do when they subdivide. So if this was subdivided and that was part of the back lot, he would have 50 feet of frontage and that is his driveway. So I'm not sure where that easement is from the town, because
So
the town doesn't own that.
What's his deed say? You must have his deed.
I don't know. I didn't look at his deed.
Well, we can look at the deed, because then it would have those lines and measurements on it.
Not always.
It always has measurements on it.
No, they don't. They don't always. I used to do the assessing job and I got the deeds all the
There would
time
be a
and they
property
don't
line,
always say
there would
it.
be a measurement here on his deed as
Well, here's
north,
the measurement right here.
this would be northwest measurement, and it should be coming from a pin or a drill hole.
Yep, pin in stone. Right here, right here, right here. They're all right there. They're all marked on this survey.
But it should be on the deed, that's what I'm saying. If it's on the deed, there's no doubt about it, it's his property.
The iron,
It doesn't mean that the town doesn't have a survey saying, this is
The
what we're
town-
allotting him.
So the town doesn't have surveys. This was actually a survey that was done from the subdivision, and he's using it as a current use map because some of his property is in current use. That's where I got this.
But where's the deed? This is what I'm saying, the deed should have the measurements.
So I guess, and I don't really
When
understand
I came
this.
up, when I came down here last year and looked at his file, half of the paperwork was missing. That was
So,
one of the problems, that's
if-
why I
if
stopped looking back.
If I might,
Yeah,
are you here to request permission or authorization to cut down trees? Is that what you're here for?
I wanna cut the tree, stump it and put a gravel bed down so I can drive a concrete truck to pump over the. I'm not gonna use it afterwards, other than the electric company's gonna go down there and cut the lines.
Right, but you're looking to the selectmen to give you authorization.
Right. Somebody has to give me authorization, I can't just go stepping
But
over that, I don't
typically-
own past that wall.
But typically, if I wanna do something on my land, it's on me to figure out where my property line is. So I wanted to build a garage, I have to figure it out. The town doesn't tell me where my property line is.
But you would have to tell the surveyor if that's an active road or not. If it's not an active road.
So
Right.
what I can tell
I
you
can
right
cut-
now is that it's not a road, it's a driveway. All the information that we have right now is that it's his driveway.
Okay.
There's
What about
nothing
this
that
one?
we're going to do to say that you can go on his driveway or utilize his property in any way, cause it's his property.
Right.
And you have to utilize your property in some way in order to get the end result that you want, is where we're at right now. Because we, from what we have found, don't have any rights to that driveway.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
call
I
it a
can-
driveway right now because that's what it is to me, is a
See, and that's the whole
driveway.
thing, I can produce the deed
Yeah,
for that easement. And at that point, what happens? Can I use
well,
it?
I'm not gonna,
If I
I'm
have to
not
do-
gonna, I try not to do the what ifs, but if
No.
you can produce the game, then or the deed, then we'll look at that as
Okay.
well and take that
So
in.
now then, can I cut the trees down here still so I can get the telephone pole down?
I'm not gonna say anything on that right now,
Why not?
cause I don't know where your property lines are sitting right here, and
Well,
I know
this-
we're looking at pieces of paper, as a friend, I could have an opinion,
Right.
but I'm not from this
But-
board seat going
But-
to,
So, but this is what I'm trying to get, I mean, there's obviously, no one's released that. Because, and this is, she's even saying that's his survey. That's his survey,
Yeah.
not mine,
Yeah.
his. Why
where,
isn't it in the middle of that road?
and where this,
Well, it wouldn't, it,
It's not in the middle of the road, this is what I'm saying, why didn't they do it then?
I don't know, I can't, we're tracking today and it's hard for us to recreate 30, 40
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
I understand that, but how do we figure this out?
To have your property surveyed, and then
But I
that
had
surveyor,
But I had
will,
it surveyed, when I bought the house, it was surveyed. You guys have it on record,
yeah,
alright? It doesn't go to that middle road, it goes to the rock wall.
to this
Same as
rock,
my deed
to
says.
this rock wall,
Yeah, no, to this rock wall.
okay. So, and for me, if there was an area that was in question, I would stay away from it, just as a, until you have a definitive answer.
But how
One
do I
way or
get the
another.
definitive answer? This is what I'm trying to say.
Well, cause
You
you
guys
said,
have a
what-
survey here.
we're going in circles kind of, but you said that
I know, but
all
this-
based off of you saying that you saw a piece of paper somewhere that stated something different than what we know. So if you can produce that piece of paper to hopefully guide us in a different direction,
So if I was to just put the building on right here against that rock wall, because see, the thing is I can't even get a permit or go any farther with this. Because I can gain more, if from a property line side to side, you have shorter measurements than from a road. You gotta be 30 feet off the road, not property lines. So
This-
now, if that's a road,
it's not a road. This is not a road.
okay, so I
From
can go
what
right
we
up to that
see-
rock wall then.
I'm not saying that, cause there's two rock walls. There's this rock wall and there's that rock
I know
wall.
what was in the
So you can, it looks and sounds like you'd be safe to go to this point. This area in question, we don't have anything that defines that. You don't have anything that defines that. What you have
Right, well, the
defines your property as this line, correct?
Right. But
So
the
that's-
town must have something saying that that's not a road, it's been discontinued, right? Or is it just
Yeah,
in
Back.
hover mode?
You
Because
have to go
normally-
back to the minutes where it was
There's
voted.
their deed.
Because normally they don't ever discontinue a road, they just leave it sit there and waste.
no, we like roads have been discontinued before.
Yeah, I have one in my woods. Absolutely discontinued,
Right, is it on, how do you know it's discontinued?
because it's not on the tax. If you look on the map, there is, and I don't know how accurate a representation
That's
it
not-
is.
yeah. Well, you can see.
But-
You can't look at the
roughly-
tax
They're-
map,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, but they're classified, they show class 6,
Read 'em.
class 5, and then state highways, and they're drawn differently on the tax map.
Yeah, but see, if you look at this tax map, right? Like, where are we? Alright, see, I'm right here. Do you even see a road on there? Do you even see that that isn't the same property that you're looking at there?
Well, there's no road there because there isn't a road there.
So if I put it this way,
No, there's clearly a road there, there's 30 feet in between those rock walls.
no, that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm led
Okay.
to believe that road
But
is
see now, if
discontinued.
if it was to the property line, right? Now he would have posted it when he did his no trespassing signs. He went by his rock wall,
Okay.
and it goes straight down the rock wall. So who owns past his rock wall? This is what it's not on his either.
Mhm.
This is the gray area, unless if we can find out if that road was discontinued or not discontinued.
Or if it was even a road, it could have been a
Yeah.
car
Oh,
path.
it was a
definitely
road.
a road.
It was a road, I know it was a road.
It's definitely a road.
And we had a workshop the other week where we tried to find all the town-owned properties.
Right.
This is not on the list.
No.
No.
No, but it's on there.
And
Wow.
I just looked up his
But
I'm,
name.
how far
I'm
back-
telling you.
I mean, hey, this could be back at the 1800s when the Barrett House was just, up and running, discontinued that road. I understand this. But the thing is, this is going to cost months to figure out and thousands of dollars. And this is all pretty much just basic common knowledge from the town. The town should have it on record somewhere.
Well, I don't know. And like I said, when I did my shop, I didn't think that the town would tell me where my
They
property
made
line was.
so on the other hand, Ralph Somro had a file for an undersized lot, which that same rock wall goes all the way down there. That would have gave him more than enough, and the town took $10,000 out of his pocket to do it. This is what I'm saying. I mean, so how does that work?
I don't know anything.
So-
I don't know what.
We're talking about
And
this
when he
though.
surveyed that property, it goes up to the same point as what I have on my survey, which is on my deed.
So this is Soini's deed.
Yeah.
And Jen and I just looked on the registry of deeds, and there is no easement from the town to Soini to use that as a driveway.
Did you
'Cause
look under
easements
Sweeney's
are
name, or
re-
did you look underneath the
I
other?
looked under Soini's name, cause you said they gave it to Soini.
I don't even know if he owned it when the deed.
Oh, I don't know, that's
No,
what
I
you
said
told
there
me.
was
But it would be carried through.
I said there was.
Yeah, but it would be recorded, so you have to look at the name that it was.
You'd have to
being
go to the
recorded.
prior name where it started from. That's what cost
So this
much
was
money.
done like
You got
1,000
this guy
years
on the
ago?
Registry of Deed flipping pages all week long.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
No, I understand that.
And that's why I gave the book and page number of. And
I
the
just
name
gave it to Jen, to her,
and the
she's
name of the
looking up
other
all the book
person
and page numbers.
is on there. That's what it's underneath, not Sweeney's, under the other person's.
Oh, I thought you said the town gave Soini a deed, an easement.
Which should have been put into Sweeney's file, but none of this stuff is in Sweeney's file. Sweeney doesn't have a file. He has
Mhm.
No, because it would go in the property file, the property file stays the same no matter who owns it. So the easement would have been in, if we knew about it, it would be in that property file. Cause it's under the map and lot numbers, not under whose name it was. So Jen's looking up all those books and pages.
And this isn't that odd because we're going
No.
through another scenario with when the state, all like
like
change
down
one
the
to-
road here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
but
you know what I'm
that's
talking
state. I mean, that's
about. No,
completely.
well, this 124, old 123, 124,
But
Right.
that's not really the same situation. The same situation is the state says, hell no, I'm not giving you the road because if we want to expand it, they will.
So, but that's what
The
I'm saying.
thing is it's on the deed saying his property line stopped here, but there's a state highway that's in between here. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He doesn't own it.
Technically he does.
And
yeah.
we know the state owns it. How does he own it?
Yeah, no, it gets
Because the
messy.
state never
And
should.
sometimes things are recorded, and sometimes they're not recorded. Why? I don't know.
They have to be recorded.
That wasn't recorded. There's some elements to that whole thing that were not recorded.
Well, that's because the state never surrendered it. That's the property line's that rock wall. You can see the
I'm
rock.
just saying, like, there's not.
You can
the-
see
the
the rock
term
wall in the
always-
old road. State
So
won't.
I've only been at this for a few years now, like
Yeah.
involved in this type of stuff, but always doesn't fit. It's always
Right.
not necessarily is a more appropriate term.
But it is recorded somewhere.
Okay. On one of the deeds from Hacala, it
Possibly.
says granting the right to pass and repass. It's not from the town, it's from one owner to another. It's got nothing to do with the town.
And that the town won't maintain it
Nope. Doesn't say that.
from Hackler? No.
Yeah.
What was the other person's name there?
Sonia, you think?
You know, it doesn't make sense that the electric company has an easement.
Well, I don't
This
know
is
all the
what I'm
ins and
saying.
outs.
I mean,
yeah, but the electric company does have easements because they have the right to
they
maintain
have
their
the right to go
poles.
anywhere they want.
Exactly,
You know, they own
which doesn't
everything.
have anything to do with us. You know, like,
But this is what I'm trying
well,
to
to
figure
some
out.
degree, yeah.
So I'm able to just cut those trees down. Why can't I just cut the trees down on the road then? And then be done with it. All it is just put a telephone pole. I'll just stump down 200 feet. I'll get a pump truck and pump it. But I still need the electric company to be able to get down there to maintain those lines. Can do that, right?
I'm not gonna say one way or another tonight. And
So
it's not,
is there
it's
any
not our
paperwork
purview.
here on getting this stuff? Like, figure how do you know, I'm in a rock and a hard spot here because I can't figure out how to go about this because I don't have no information on where to start.
Mhm.
You know, all
Which
I
it
know
looks
is
like, you know, they're looking into it now, you know, like, cause you gave us a little
Yeah.
bit, like another little piece, to work through it.
but I mean, this is like the perfect time to burn all that brush. This is the perfect time to get all that stuff
No,
done.
I get it, I do get it,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
And
yeah.
come Maytime, you got mud.
yeah,
I mean, this is why when I was here a month ago, I didn't expect to be standing here looking up deeds and stuff when I gave it to you.
well, like she had mentioned, there's 8 references to books and pages and different things, and
Right.
I don't,
And this is what I'm
and she
saying.
did look into some of it, you know,
But she
there's
didn't
quite a
look into
bit that was
me.
looked into it, and I went back and looked, you know, asked somebody that has 15 years experience in town, and to his knowledge, it's never been a town road. Though, when you go and look, it's as wide as a road,
Yeah.
and it looks like it has fresh
It's the old
sand on
there's-
it. Yeah.
It goes right down to the old pound in downtown here.
Mm.
There's the old ox cart watering hole for Christ's sake,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And that's what I'm saying, is it turned down that
I
road.
know. Yeah.
And
Also conveying a right to pass and repass with motor vehicles and otherwise over the old road running from 123 and 124 to the premises herein described.
you hear old road?
No,
Yes.
I never said it
But
wasn't
it's
an
got
old
nothing
road.
to do with the town. It's from one owner to another.
So who owns the road?
It just says right to pass and repass over the old road. So whoever owned it way back then, I don't know.
Well, we gotta find I mean, I'll have to find that out then.
Well, they own the road. Soini owns the road.
No, whoever owned the road is just giving him the right to use it.
The past owner.
Right, the
Right,
past owner.
Right.
Right, just to use it. So whoever owns the road, it can lead back to the town.
If a highway
No,
is,
because the town would have to give somebody an easement to do that. The owner
This
of
is what I found.
The owner
The
of the
easement from the
property,
town, I don't remember which one it was on.
she
Right,
just
just-
looked at all the ones on the left-hand side, she's now working on the ones on the
Right.
right-hand side. Which, again,
Because now the registry of deed cut you right out of it, you can't go online and look at them.
you can go look at them, you just can't,
No, you gotta
pay
go.
to print them. No, you can still
You can
look.
still look at them
Yeah.
online, not without a membership.
You can look.
Well, it may be
You
worth the
gotta pay to-
membership, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jen doesn't have
I don't
time
know
to
what
be
a
doing
membership
this either.
is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the whole catch 22 too.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
so,
just saying.
so that's all, you know, things for you to consider in doing this project.
Well, I'll just
you
go
know.
down to the real estate office and say, hey, can you look this up? I don't know. I don't know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
I'm a worker bee, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm, but, so she's looking up the other pages, so we can just wait a few minutes, I guess, and find out what that says. Because,
Well, I mean, she really doesn't have time to be doing that. She's trying to do planning board stuff and she just overheard the conversation, so she looked it up for me, but, I mean, she doesn't have time to go through the other 8 on the other hand, on the other side. If you find that and you wanna send it to us and you find that it says that the town gave them an easement, I mean,
well,
cause, I mean, all we see is that one owner gave them the right to pass and
but
repass
the
over the
question
old
is,
road.
who's the owner? It doesn't say who the owner is. This, I mean, this is the whole thing, this is kinda vague when you don't know who the owner is.
Well, it's on the first page of the deed. I
Who's
just
paying the
wondered.
taxes on it? Somebody's gotta be paying taxes.
Soiny's paying the taxes on that property. That's
On
the
that
one,
property,
that's the,
but not that wall. If you see, all the pins stop at the bottom, right where that no, this is what I'm saying, it was where the no throughway sign is.
So,
all you
so what
measure
you
is-
have defined though
Start
today
from here.
that you know, so we don't have an answer
Yeah,
for that spot in between the 2 rock walls. We don't have that answer for you today. There's nothing that we can find that gives us any definitive answer
So-
on who owns that section.
well, here's one that we can do, like, the trees closest to the rock wall. If I just cut 5 feet away from that rock wall on that road and drop them into my property. So far, we know that the middle of it would be mine. If not, you guys can give me the permission to cut those trees, because that would still be the town's.
We can't give you permission to cut the trees because
Who gets
we
the-
see nothing that grants us ownership
It's
of
saying
that
that
We
property.
have no authority over.
So
you
I
and
can
your
cut
abutter.
them. Will I get in trouble if I cut them, on the other hand?
don't know.
Don't know.
It's between you and your abutter.
That's 30 feet away from me. I mean, technically, well, this is what I'm saying is, right now, it's,
So
I
what
can
would
cut
happen
enough-
if you stayed 30 feet away from his property line?
what's that?
What, like, if you stayed away from, what's the distance between these 2 rock walls?
30
It's about,
plus feet,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
This is what I'm saying is,
yeah.
if I can just cut a swath coming straight down here to
Why
get
do
the
you have to
telephone
do
pole
it on
in,
his,
it's not his. This is the no man's land. If it does go, like I said, if it does go to the center of the road, like you guys are trying to say, that's fine with me. It's still my
But
property.
I
We
It's a
do
cut.
wanna
No.
clarify, Dean,
we're not
This
saying
is-
that.
where we've heard that. That's, we're not giving you anything solid, I'm sorry to say, we really aren't.
Yeah.
Because that,
Right,
that deed clearly states,
But then it comes
the
down
owner
to
is
is
giving
if
them,
you guys do own the
but
property,
we don't know.
will I get in trouble for cutting those trees down? Because that's what I'm trying
Who's
to
already
get
got
is
that?
to cut the trees down and open it. I mean,
Well, if you're gonna be putting in a road, you need to have.
no, I won't. Oh, I wouldn't put
or
it
a
in a drive.
driveway or anything.
Yeah.
You need to be, what is it, 20 feet
I printed that too.
setback from the property line?
Do you want me to get that deed?
Because
No, that's, I
That's true
think that's
too.
the one we just
Yeah,
did.
there is,
So
like,
this-
so I can't remember how many feet.
it's
you're
30
supposed-
feet off of a road. That's why I'm saying if this road is discontinued, it's 10 feet off of property line. I can
No,
go
it's
10
not-
feet
it's
off
not-
that wall.
No, it,
It's greater than 10
it's,
feet.
wherever the property line is, alright, you can't do anything, you can't put a driveway in or any structure in within 20 feet of that property line.
Well, then he has a big issue
Well,
That's-
he may-
because he's only 5 feet off of that rock
That's a
wall.
civil suit. Just,
With
is
that
the-
structure right there is
Well,
actually touching that
Thank
rock
you, Dad.
wall.
It depends
I just
when
wanna look at that.
that structure
Give me
was
that.
built.
Wasn't that
Okay.
long
Because
ago? Maybe it was the one behind his house that doesn't show up yet.
Cause I was gonna
You
say,
know, we're not gonna play like on his
Vacated.
property right now.
Well, no,
You're
that's
looking
what-
for guidance on your property.
That's what I'm saying.
What did Jennifer come in with?
The plot card that has, I don't know how to say it, Parhelia to Soini, 25-foot strip for access to road, 6,660 feet, it looks like. And then
6,000?
25-foot strip. I don't know what that 6,660 is. It doesn't say dollars, it doesn't say miles, it doesn't say feet. Doesn't say
That's
anything,
gotta
just
be
a number.
dollars. That's gotta be
We don't
cash.
usually put
There's no way
dollars.
that's 6,000 feet.
But
No way.
anyways, so the town does not own that road.
Alright.
If this is the same strip we're talking about, 25-foot wide strip. Say that name again?
Parhelia.
Parhelia owns the road, and they're giving Soini access to use it. So the town has nothing to do,
So the town doesn't own that, but what about that back property then? Now that's
so
still the
that's
problem.
up to you to figure out.
Yeah, so I'll just cut the trees. Easier to cut the trees. Sounds like a plan to me.
Did you wanna take a picture of the backside too? Cause I said,
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that existed. What is that? Where is that?
So here's
That
Davis,
is the
Davis
worst
Village,
drawing I have
Davis Village is up here.
Yeah. This is this is before Dark Lane was even there. There should be a fork right there.
Well, it doesn't, it's only supposed
No,
to
it's
draw
only
this
hand drawn,
lot.
I know,
Yeah,
that's what
it's not supposed to show the
that's what
whole
I'm saying,
area.
it's almost
It's just for this one lot though, it's not supposed to show the whole area,
Just a point
it's
of
just
reference.
one lot,
yeah.
Right,
so.
that's 17 acres?
So this is yours, that's theirs.
What's that?
Malthouse.
Malthouse Road? That doesn't make any sense.
Anyway,
Malthouse Road.
That's weird how it's drawn, right?
Well, I don't know what the name of the road is. Not Malthouse. Do you know where Malthouse is?
Yeah, yeah,
You know where Davis the Fork is?
yeah.
How can it be the next one?
This is some of the things that we were looking at, like it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
quite make sense.
What's that?
Just some of the other drawings and illustrations of how things used to connect,
Oh,
it doesn't quite,
Well, the thing is, where is your property line?
Rockwell.
Which one? There's three of them.
Oh, we don't know. It's supposedly, my property is, this is my property all right here.
Right there,
Right.
So
Okay.
that's a stone wall right there?
That's a stone wall. It goes all the way down.
This line over here?
It even goes
Okay,
past
you
Rock.
can't do anything, without a variance for anything within 20 feet of that.
Why is that? I can cut trees.
Hmm?
You can do what you want on your own property. You can't build a structure.
You can't build a structure.
I can put a shed right there. I put a shed right on that corner. No one can say boo boo. Well, it's under the size and they can pick it up and
no,
move
you
it.
can't put a shed,
You can put a shed, that's what it's movable, yeah.
Right. Well, no, this is what I'm saying. I mean, he's got 20 sheds going
Okay.
down that rock wall. I mean, I'm not, I'll, that's
oh, it's
something-
fine, yeah, so
If the-
we're kind of past that point
Yeah.
now, Lou, like it's
Yeah,
just,
because now it's just.
we're not, yeah, we're rehashing, so,
But.
so,
building
I'm sorry
code,
that we couldn't
that's
be,
not my issue. I know the building code. That's an easy one.
sorry that we couldn't be more help, hopefully you have a couple more pieces, you know, you've turned us on to a couple more pieces, and
Yeah. So now, is there an archive in the town hall that we can look at records on?
No, it's all with the,
you just
yeah,
saw
we
it.
have old annual reports.
Yeah, old
An archive of what?
He's saying old annual reports, he could see when it was discontinued, if indeed it was.
If it was
I understand,
discontinued by
okay,
warrant
that's great,
article.
I can't use that driveway, I understand.
You
But
can go to
what about that
UNH.
road? That's the big problem, thorn in the side. There's two thorns, one
Nothing.
salt, not the
Nothing.
end of the road.
Thanks.
You
And all
know?
we can do is give you what we have.
Right, and that's what I'm wondering is if I can find it somehow, research through the town.
I think
If
it's
you-
a neck.
If you go to UNH, the
I haven't
website,
been to college my whole entire
you don't
life.
have to go to UNH. You can go on their website. All the town reports back to like the 1800s, I believe. They have a copy of every
And you
town
could do a
report,
PDF search on it.
and you can search.
You can do this search on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Because
should
if
be,
it was discontinued by warrant article, it would be in one of those town reports.
so it's just, now how would you look though? What would that be like listed
You
on
would
that?
have to look under every single year.
Yeah,
If you have a ballpark of when you think it was, 1857, you go to the town report of 857, find text, and do Old
Yeah,
County Road.
Or
Discontinued.
discontinued.
Just search for the
I think
word
it's- That's a
discontinued.
term that's been used for a long, long time
Yeah,
now.
so you'd have to go into every single one.
I wonder
But
what
that's
that
up to you.
Or you could hire a surveyor.
Yeah.
For 7, 8 grand, I already checked into
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, or I could just say,
That's why it
screw it, I'll
costs so
just move the
much.
building over to here and no one wins. I already got a driveway there. That just means there's 5 empty building lots back there, no one can ever build on, I don't care. Like I said, I'm here for 5 years, the town loses the money,
Yeah,
you know? That's what it is, you can build this stuff, and if you go by these coordinates and measurements,
No.
you can get that extra lot.
yeah.
That's what I was
At
looking
this
for,
point, no.
but I can't get
But
that,
thanks.
so now it's not feasible.
I was thinking that, and then I was like,
That's
no.
this is
Yeah.
why it was, see what I'm saying? Put a house
Yeah.
right there, I can go, I already have a driveway cut in here.
Yeah.
I can just put the building right there, 25 feet, that's just one big lot later on down the road for someone. Town can't do anything with it, no one can ever do anything with it.
Yeah.
So, or you could've came in through here, came straight down there and had 3 houses. I don't know, alright, well, thanks, appreciate it.
Alright,
Yeah.
thank you, Dean.
Thank you. Alright.
Okay, moving right along to the last non-public. Time. Sorry.
Well, no, we should have accounted for him coming in. Like,
I know, but
yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna take 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Walker Ferry had emailed me and asked that the ZBA would like to appoint Jeff Mahonen as to the ZBA. So, do you guys have any questions or issues?
Well,
Do you guys have any questions